What's going on, everyone? The competitor here, back with another video. This time I have Jimmy Potato joining me on the mic as we go over our 2v2 versus Striker and Abyss from Slayer's tournament last week.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Compy. Should be fun.
Of course. So I chose Jimmy to go up first against Abyss because I didn't know if he was going to pull out Noob or Fujin first. And, Jimmy has Scarlet and she does pretty well versus some characters, and maybe he knew some matchup things that I didn't.
Yeah, going into it, I was aware of Abyss as a player and kind of how good he was, but I wasn't too sure which character he was going to use. So I don't have a ton of Fujin experience. So I was learning a lot as I was going. There was a just crazy flawless block there. So right away, I knew super great reactions were going to happen throughout the whole dang thing.
Yeah, that was a really good breakaway. Now that flawless block instance that Abyss did, that actually comes back to bite you a few times in this set, and I think I pointed it out after the first game to make
Yeah,
some adaptations. I'll point that out the next time he does the same thing.
it was definitely almost like a first for me playing that caliber of player that they were going to know that I was just going to push that button there, and they were just ready for it. The first hit of the string, ready to blow it up. He takes that round pretty convincingly.
Yeah.
For me, I couldn't really get my zoning going
Yeah, but there was,
using that.
if we do go back really quick, there was one quick instance where you actually could have taken the game this hit confirm into you did that
Yeah,
into tongue. If you would have just realized he did push and confirmed it a fatal blow, that would have been the first round. So I mean,
I should have saw it
like that
right when
was,
the wind animation went. I should have known that the last hit there of forward 4-3 was gonna hit, and then yeah, I've been mashing fatal blow.
yeah. Like I said though, that was a good round though.
Yeah, and
Especially,
actually went better than I thought it did. So
yeah,
right there, I steal life when I probably didn't have to. I had a lot of life there. That was a little bit of a muscle memory thing, a little bit of nerves. Good short hop there.
yeah. Trying to anti-air, getting punished for it. Classic MK11.
Yeah, now that I'm rewatching, he absolutely 100% did that to put me in the corner.
Yeah. All
Here, I
right.
get myself out a little bit.
Yeah, that's always worth trading with. You don't take any damage from it, and I mean,
And I don't know if you just caught that. I was waiting for that. I was waiting for the button press, and you see me jank up and down a little bit, but then he actually pushed the button, and I got my boiling point. I missed my boiling point there.
yeah, that's huge damage though. It's good reward.
And here I'm
18%
kind of waiting for
projectile.
the same thing. He gets a little bit closer. I go to do that to challenge his buttons a little bit. I thought maybe he was going to press again.
Yeah, you just got to be careful of back one,
Yeah.
because that's a
And
really
as
good
you
mid.
can see, I just wasn't sure how to deal with that Skywalker stuff. I just don't have enough experience against it. So almost every time he's done it against me, he hits me.
Yeah, that's definitely something to lab. That's why I would do more zoning with a tongue, like try to predict him doing, trying to predict him like when he's gonna skywalk and do like a close
Mm-hmm.
tongue. Now that crushing blow right there is very situational. He has to hit three in a sequence of the
Mm.
pushes, but like not just hit it three times in a row. He has to hit like the close one, then the medium, then the far one.
Oh,
Or
man.
or he has to hit the medium close then far. Like he has to hit them in like a sequence. So that's
And
something
I
to pay
happened, and
attention
it
to.
worked.
Yeah, honestly, that's like a big brain crushing blow. That's too much for me to handle.
Crazy.
As a Johnny player, you guys know I don't have to pay attention to my crushing blows. I get 30%, then just whip the shades. So, I don't have to think. But
And that was something I didn't know. So that's good to know.
yeah, now that was
There's
a
a
good,
block full punish. Yeah.
yeah, that was a good punish. He didn't break away, and that's pretty decent damage.
That was a missed input there with the forward four. I was trying to get a tentacle to kind of keep him at bay and keep him out, and I think it would have worked there.
Yeah, all right, that was a good whiff punish by him with the slide, and he dropped the combo. All right, that string right there, that's the third time he's done it. And he has been trying to flawless block each time. He messed it up the one before, and you actually punished him with 1-2-1, but that's what he baited that first round, and he flawless
Mm-hmm.
block launched you. So this was at the point where I started noting, I'm like, all right, he's going to try to flawless block that every time, and especially if you're retaliating with a string that has gaps. Now, that was a really good punish right there.
Nah, I missed the full thing though.
Yeah.
Breakaway input
Yep,
error.
see, he just tried to micro duck
Yeah.
flawless block OS that. All right, hit.
Oh man, how many times do I do the 1-2-4 all the way when I shouldn't? I need to cancel into the blood ball or something like
Yeah.
that there because he flawless blocked it a lot. I just don't think he had the meter that time.
Yeah. Now right here was like probably your biggest mistake that you could have capitalized on. If he does the EX, so he took the gamble to do poke into special to kill you, but because you were crouch blocking, this whiffed overhead,
Hmm.
and right here you could have just done raw fatal blow, 1-2 fatal blow.
Yes, and we
That could have
talked about
killed.
that. I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that was a really close set, like, or that game was like
And
really close.
that would have taken the damn set or the match right there.
Yeah, so
Anything into fatal blow or just fatal blow.
So for everyone watching, the biggest takeaways from this match is that if Jimmy would have practiced hit confirms that first round, he could have taken it with with the fatal blow, and then even that last round, if he just knew his punishes a little bit better or knew the situations, he would have had it. So that's why we're going over this,
Yeah.
it's a
And
cool objective, like, practice session looking at what you did wrong, what you could have done better, and then it will be cool to go over it with me as well because there were some things you pointed out after the set that I wasn't aware of. So,
yeah, definitely first thing right off the bat that I see is knowing that he was flawless blocking that gap and even trying to flawless block micro duck with the start of my strings. I didn't adapt quick enough to get away from it and just stop the 1-2-4 string on just 1-2.
yeah, exactly. That's another thing I'd like to see you incorporate though is 2-1 because like 2-1
Hmm.
backdash is so strong, especially versus characters like Johnny. Oh boy, did I full screen this? Okay. All right. Whew. I was worried for a
Or a
second.
little bit more 4-4 as well. Even though that first hit's high, I get plus frames off the block, and that's something that I need to look into using more.
Yeah.
There's the patented Jimmy down wanted to throw.
Yep, nice hit
Seems to
confirm.
work.
Ooh, see, that's where I was talking about with
Can we go
tentacle.
back and look at that? Let's go back and
Yeah.
look at that because I didn't know that. So that is knowledge, and I tried to do that almost like I do against Scorpion players. So on Wake Up, I'll do that to try catch the teleport, to catch something like that. This goes
hmm
right through it.
Well, it doesn't look like it's active yet
Oh,
until he
maybe I was a
gets
little
right past.
late. Okay,
I think with that move you have to predict you'd have to do like the closer
a
tentacle
little
a
bit
little
closer,
bit
yeah, to
closer to
catch the
smack
end of
him.
that. Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
but what I'm talking about is if you see my mouse, like I would have done like a close one right here to try to catch him with
hmm,
the active frames just to cover your
okay.
ass so he doesn't like get in on you.
And he definitely, this is something that he did a lot off Wake Up. He just skywalked right back in. It takes away my zoning game. I want to be full screen the whole damn match.
Yeah, exactly, and that's gonna be hard to do versus Fujin, so
Yeah,
this kind of put you in a weird position to where you can't
he
zone
comes
him
in.
as you'd like to.
And that was actual punish because I was still in my recovery frames of tentacle. Good shimmy back there. Catches my
Ooh,
down poke.
that was a
Here, I
missed
froze
punish
up
on
here.
that.
Here's me
Yeah,
freezing up.
okay.
Yeah.
He's been dropping in that combo a lot, so it's
So
good
we
that you
get a
haven't been
trade
breaking away.
there. We get a trade there, and he quickly just hits buttons again. And I need to start doing that a little bit more too off of a trade. It was 7 frames standing one. Good
Yeah.
confirmed.
Ooh,
I
caught
didn't
you just
realize I was
ducking.
going to be on the other side off of that.
Yeah, that was a really weird situation too. All right, he missed that. That
And that
was
was
a
input error.
yeah. He keeps
I just
dropping
having
his
a little.
combos too. So that kind of made me a little bit more confident going in as Johnny. Because like at that point, like you should have just noted like, hey, he only like landed one combo, like one full combo on me. Is it really worth
Mhm.
breaking away? Especially like Fujin is a character where he doesn't get too much damage off of his combos. I mean, except maybe down two crushing blows and whatnot, but he doesn't do like crazy big damage. His meter is more spent on well, I mean, his is spent on launching and stuff, but like for you specifically, I think rolling or using your meter
Yeah,
just off of your confirms would have been a better use, just because
yeah,
you
I
know
agree.
I
Especially on that one, I was all the way up in the damn sky there. I know that that's a hard catch on the way back down, and I'm getting destroyed by the short hop stuff. But the good thing about that, I ended up playing in a different thing later on where a guy did the same thing, and I started catching it into like 300 and some damage. So you do the short hop and you get it down one, and then stand up 1-2 into whatever boiling point. but I wasn't ready for it here. It seems to be kind of that next level meta where people will either commit to the short hop, just do a short hop right in front of you to try to get you to push a button,
Hmm.
just to kind of try to get you to flinch. So that was a kind of a new thing for me.
Yeah, now right here, that was a really good conversion. Got your health back to smart play. Now this string from
Ooh,
Fujin is just a mid overhead. It's really not too great, but he caught you with the first one and just went for it
yeah.
again. This crushing blow, he has to hit the string, the overhead part of the string twice in a row, which
Oh,
is like
because I
damn near.
shimmied there. I shimmied him, and I think I went for 2-1,
Yeah,
and
let's.
his shit just it whiffed on it, and then his hit me. So I go back, and right here, I think I go for 2-1.
Yeah, and it
The kick
hit.
whiff, and he goes into an airborne state. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
and then he went for it again just to try to get the crushing blow, and it
right.
did. It's basically like Johnny's forward 4-3 crushing blow. You don't see this hit often, so
And
it's
that,
just very, yeah, it's just very weird
but
situations.
that's something I didn't know either. I didn't know that that was it needed the second hit too. So now that I know that,
Yeah,
that's something to look out for.
right there as well to everyone watching. This is where I was on the mic with Jimmy, and I pointed out every time he does this string ending with the kicks, he always goes for like the flawless block. So I just told Jimmy, I'm like, yo, just reversal throw him right here, and it worked.
Yeah,
See, he went
I
for
didn't
the.
go for the poke. I just went for just the throw.
Yep.
And unfortunately, that was the first escape fail, so I didn't get to throw a crushing blow. Really
And
smart player though. He backs himself out, lets me do something, waits for it calmly, and then comes in and finishes it up. Really good, really solid player.
yeah, Abyss is amazing. He also just made top 8. Abyss is the homie, so,
Yeah.
he's really good. So, right here I was panicking a little bit cuz I'm like, all right, I got some data on his Fujin, but
hmm
he's going to go noob. Like he knows I play Johnny. He knows what it's like to play Johnny. He made Johnny for a while.
hmm
But dude, Johnny versus noob is just not fun. So, right here he picks Fujin. I was like, "Oh, all right." So, I go with
He
my.
must have just been feeling himself a little bit. Maybe was trying to make the run with Fujin, or just see how it went for the first match because they'd already eliminated me. So I mean, they got a little bit of life to play with there. So I could see why maybe he stuck with it. He was rolling with it.
Mhm. So right here, I'm just taking my time. I'm thinking, and that's my advice for anyone playing in tournament. If you're up, just sit there at stage select for a minute. Think about it. Think about the choices the opponent's been making. Just try to make as much time as possible.
hmm And especially in a 2v2 event like this, if anybody ever gets into one, make sure you're listening to your partner as well, and you got good communication open because they're seeing things that you're not while you're in the match. You're in kind of a fight or flight panic mode. It's hard to make adjustments sometimes for different fighters, so make sure you're listening to your partner.
That was a really good slide. Ooh,
Just
punish
for
on
that
the
short
short
hop,
hop.
right? You got him. Yeah, no dropsies there. 270 off of that too. That, like Johnny's got some good stuff. Good jump in.
Yeah. Ooh, I don't. That was a weird stray hit I caught him with.
And it looks like he was just waking up trying to hit some buttons to pull you out of whatever pressure you were trying to keep him in the corner with there.
Yeah, that right there is a punish. Now, I just went for the safe punish right there, because that string's unsafe. It's like I think it's like minus 18, something like that. I just reversal shadow kick to get the guaranteed damage because you have to dash up forward 3, micro dash forward 3 to punish that, and I didn't want to risk dropping it, so I just took the guaranteed damage. That's just something to note. Like, yeah, there are more optimal punishes, but some punish is better than no punish.
And looking at the situation, the life situation, the screen situation, it's a great choice, I feel, because you put him right back into the corner, which is where you want him. And there you close it out right there.
Yep. And this is where Johnny gets to play his game.
hmm
Flawless block on that. Alright, so here I acknowledge he's going to be sliding in neutral, so my whole game plan, that was a really good punish on my wake up, but he dropped the combo. So he's hitting me with a lot of these raw slides. So what I'm going to try to do here is I start baiting it. Like I'm like, oh, am I going to throw force ball? Is he going to slide under? And I
There,
believe
that
this
throw
is,
came back.
yep, right there. I was we
Nice.
were we were at that distance where before I threw force balls, I was conditioning him to do something. So right here, I take a step forward, like I'm gonna throw a force ball, and I was just looking for that slide. Like that was just lasered in. You know, I went for unbreakable damage there.
I was just gonna say you were probably expecting breakaway, and with the life he had in the situation, I'm surprised he didn't.
Here I'm just holding block.
Yeah, super
Down
patient
4.
here.
Oh, I should have broke away right there, but I knew he couldn't kill me.
And now you got
And I
Fatal
just
Blow.
woke up buttons because
Yeah.
he was short hopping my face. I wasn't gonna let him do that. So my biggest takeaways from that was just, you know, letting him hang himself for the most
Hmm.
part. That's how you kind of have to play Fujin versus Johnny, because I don't think that's particularly a good matchup either. It's even or
Overall,
slightly, you know, in Fujin's favor, but
you
yeah.
think so? Yeah. Overall, the match kind of went with, like you said, your patience. You got your damage when you needed to get it, and then once you had the life lead, it was just patience game and let him hang himself. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of how Johnny has to be played, at least in the state of the game, just because of
And
how he
here
is.
we were chatting, and you said, "Yeah, he's going right to Noob, like no questions," and he didn't even hesitate. It was Noob Saibot.
Yeah, see, what makes this matchup really difficult is Noob controls the ground game. You know, Johnny's strength
Hmm.
is his ground game. He has larger buttons than most of the cast, except maybe Kodal and Joker. And when you take that away, and notice I'm sitting at character select screen too, just thinking, trying to
Yep.
strategize. But when you take that away from, you know, Johnny and you take away his ground game and make it effectively useless and you force him to jump, that's where he's going to struggle. And Noob has probably the best anti-airs in the game too, so
Yep.
that was a little bit tricky. So we'll see how I handle that. So
And
walk
I
back,
like the
tried to
game
bait
stuff.
something. Now I'm playing like right outside of his slide range trying to go for that. He's using a lot more traditional zoning.
Yeah, fireball oppression.
Yeah.
See, he doesn't even think about going in for a throw. It looked like he thought maybe for a second I'll go in for a throw, but he's like, no, I got lots of screen to work with. Just gonna back it up, fireball, fireball. There's a good jump in, but no confirm.
Yeah, that's another one of my bad things. So that was just a dropped input. Like I tried to down one and
Okay.
didn't catch it. But right here, this was my mistake. I gotta stop doing this because this is something I notice I do a lot. I do a lot of walk back three on wake ups. I need to just stop doing that because that opens me up for free jumps, like right here.
Mhm. On wake up jump. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
look at
Yeah.
that. Roll, try to take my turn back, poke under the auto
Oh,
shimmy. Ooh, see,
stole a turn there,
all
but
right,
he blocked.
yeah, that was okay. So Rising Star, as everyone knows, it's unsafe on block, but rarely anyone punishes it. So like this was kind of like, hey, I'm gonna check him. I could have meter burned it, but I didn't
Hmm.
want to meter burn it because then that would leave me with no defense meter. He has like a huge life lead, and I wanted to test him. I wanted to be like, hey, are you ready to block this? Are you prepared to punish this if I do it? Turns out he was ready. So,
He was
you
definitely
know,
ready.
yeah. So that
But it's
those
not a
kind of
bad
tricks,
time to do that test though, right? And
yeah,
that's mid game stuff. You're it's the first round. You're kind of low on life anyways, so yeah, you get a little feel there for the rest of how it's gonna go.
yeah. Oh, see,
Was that
I woke
breakaway
up.
on purpose there?
Let's see actually. Was that breakaway on purpose? If I was getting hit by low slide, then no. Oh yeah, that was on purpose.
Okay.
And I didn't commit to wake up buttons, but that could have changed the tide of everything right there. I just did a stand one. I should have just let the whole string rock. That was a
Good
great whiff
Jimmy.
punish.
Yeah.
Trying to throw him. I'm trying to stay in the corner, mixing up my
That was
down four
great
timings.
range on that poke too, man. You just caught him by the tippy toe.
I messed up my meaty right there. I gave him his turn back. Jump kick, whiff punish. I didn't have meter, but that should be it. Yep. And there we go. We have Noob where we want him. We have him in the corner. We're making him make the incorrect reads and panic and press buttons to where we could whiff punish or jump in to capitalize.
And he immediately tried to catch you with that far reaching normal just to give himself some space there.
Yeah, I actually got counter hit because he checked me. I tried to press.
And back to the zoning game. He knows exactly how he wants to play the matchups, trying to keep himself a little bit of space before he gets into the corner there.
That was me pressing thinking he would stagger.
Ooh, now
Oh,
that
see,
button that
that
whiffed there, that
that
was
right
interesting.
there, everyone
Right
who's
there.
saying Johnny doesn't need a mid, right? I reversal forward as fast as possible to check him from pressing any buttons because the slide is like minus. It should be,
Hmm.
you know, the EX slide. And his button beat my mid. So,
Yeah.
you know, that's like I said, that's Johnny's only weakness is having a slow mid. Everything else is whatever. But you know, that really screwed me over right there. And then I just missed blocking the low. I don't know, I was too impatient to get in. So going back to characters, like this is where like I really opened my ears to Jimmy. I'm like, hey, you know, what can I do different? And you know, he advised me, you know, just watch out for fireballs. You're getting impatient, like, you know, I just pointed out.
Overall, it wasn't horrible, and like you said, it was just a couple of those little situations where you tried to check and it didn't work out, and it's kind of the uphill battle anyways in this matchup. Like you said, you don't get to play this matchup the way you want with Johnny, so it's a lot of improvising mid match. You tried to get a little bit of knowledge on what he was going to do on a couple of your little tricks and setups in the corner there.
hmm Now right here is where I was discussing what should I do. Should I
Mm.
pick Scorpion? Should I pick Cabal? And then I thought of using Outtake Johnny Cage because even though if Johnny doesn't have the life lead, his projectile's still very plus on hit, and it does decent chip damage. And if you get things going with him, you know his zoning is actually very oppressive in this matchup, right outside of where slide is effective.
And if I
So
remember correctly, on the trade, you're getting a little bit more damage with your fireball than he was as well.
yeah, so we're gonna see how that plays out. So off the bat, he hits me with back one. See, and as you can see right here, we're trading, but I gave that up. It doesn't do as much as his, but I think I recover slightly faster.
Right.
So like if I hit him at like the right spacing and get mine started, it was working out. So that
And it
was a
helps
good
you close
jump.
that gap a bit too.
Yeah, that was a good jump to close the gap. I'm still trying to trade right here.
Yeah, that okay,
And
so when
then
you get
that
the
was it.
EX, you get a little bit more.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
the
right there.
fatal blow.
Right there. This is what Jimmy wanted to point out to me, he said, but he didn't know if he should tell me mid-match or
Yes,
not,
so
which
that was a mistake.
always tell me mid-match. So right here, I'm like, if I hit EX Force Balls, all right, so this was definitely my turn. If this next EX Force Balls would have hit, like he tried to throw a projectile, that pretty much would have been game with Chip. But I messed up. I didn't pay attention to his health. I saw I had Fatal Blow. I didn't pay attention to Noob's Fatal Blow. And, you know, he armored right through it.
Yeah, and I did see it, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, should I say something? Compy's Compy should know, but it goes back to what I mentioned earlier. I sometimes when you're fighting, you're in the heat of the battle, and you miss little things like that. So I should have said something. And first time he teleports there,
Yeah, see, that's what I was scared of. I was kind of trying to bait the teleport, but I
he
wasn't ready for
doesn't
Fatal Blow.
overuse it, abuse it, so it's almost like it lulls you into forgetting about it. Because I don't even think he
Yeah.
used it once in the previous match.
He didn't. And right here, look at the spacing right here. This is why I chose outtake. This was my in my head why I used it in this matchup. I was playing right outside a slide. He couldn't hit me with it. So
Right
and then
there, yeah, it
that's where
just
look,
whips.
now I'm blocking, like notice I threw a projectile, hit him and blocked his, like when you get that established. So, you know, it's a really good challenge in this matchup. Now right here was really annoying. So that was an input error. You
Okay,
know, I think I start playing
and
like
that's what I thought
this is
there.
where the
Yeah.
nerves kicked in. This is where the nerves kicked in for sure. I got a forward two instead of a force ball. And then right
If you go
here,
back right, okay. Oh
now
goodness, yes, now I
that
remember.
that was if we looked at our inputs, right? I tried to EX force ball and I don't think I had the meter.
Not.
No, I
Oh,
did
you
right
do.
there.
Yeah, you do right there.
So when you input buffer, right? Like in MK11, you have to press the enhanced special button after you do the move, like in Justice. Whereas in previous NRS games, you know, it was at the you press block at
Mm-hmm.
the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just sitting there mashing the meter burn button after I throw the force ball, but it didn't register it in time, and I threw the chainsaw.
Now
And
Abyss knew this.
yeah, Abyss knew exactly what I did, so he's the homie. He mercied. That was amazing of him. So I
Now this
backdash,
is a
try to create
tournament
space.
too, mind you. He did not have to do that,
Yeah,
and
not at all.
that's the kind of guy that you want to be playing games with. That's just super super awesome. Didn't work out in the end, but I think after taking another look at it and watching it live, I think the strategy was correct. You picking outtake, if you started on it, that could have maybe gone a little bit differently. You figure out a few more things in that first match with that strategy, and it could have went the other way, but obviously such a tough matchup. That Noob fireball is so much better than I remember it being. Not
Yeah,
like I don't face a lot of that, so.
yeah, a lot of noobs like because before it was just using seeing double, right? And then now
Hmm.
like with the damage he gets off of each hit, with his just block pressure, it's just so insane. Like Noob is such a good character, and he has his bad matchups, but like Johnny struggles really bad. I think this is one of the hardest matchups to play in my opinion,
Hmm.
just simply because of it. Because like Cetrion zoning is oppressive, but Noob spacing is super oppressive.
So I have a quick question that anybody watching might be wondering. You do not use the shadow kick a lot, and after rewatching the last match there, it seems that sometimes you get into a space where maybe shadow kick could have caught him in the startup of fireball. Is
Um,
that something you're not willing to risk in that situation, or if you get a trade, it's even worse? Or
yeah, my idea behind it is, the shadow kick, while the move is really fast, I don't think it's beneficial because it sends them full screen and resets the
hmm,
situation again.
good point. Now
And
there's a great point. Okay.
and I don't want to risk doing it like in a situation right there because the damage output and the space it creates just isn't worth getting a full combo punish or getting ducked and down two crushing blows. So,
Right. Yep. Makes sense.
because it's like if they're scouting out the move, it's a yikes. So I mainly only use Shadow Kick to like punish guaranteed things like you saw with the
Hmm.
Fujin thing. I
And
think,
even from some of the sets that we've played, it's again kind of like I talked about the teleport. It's not a move that you abuse, so that when you do go to it, it's literally like, oh shit, surprise, Compy used Shadow Kick, right?
yeah, that's kind of why I did it right here after the Mercy, because it was just kind of to throw him off because I didn't do it the whole set. I
Mhm.
kind of just backed up and tried to catch him with a Shadow Kick, and it didn't work. Right here. Yep. And like I
And he
said,
went for
if if
slide.
if he just neutral ducked and down two'd me, like that would have been
Or if he would
45%.
have
It's
went
just
for fireball instead of slide tackle, you hit him.
that's true. That's
So
true too.
it's just one of those situations where that didn't work out there, but it might have, because if he doesn't and he goes for fireball, you hit him, you got him in the corner. Life is at a point where you just need the one hit. So that's fighting games, man.
Yeah, fighting games 101. Is it worth it?
Yep.
So, I'd like to thank everyone for sitting here and watching. I hope you find this, you know, really constructive to maybe apply to your game plan, apply new practices with your training partner, everything like that. I'd like to thank Jimmy for doing this with me. It was a lot of fun and I feel like I gained a lot of insight from it and we both learned a lot.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
All right. And, follow him on Twitch at Twitch TV / JimmyPotatoTV. I'll link that in the description as well. Jimmy is awesome. He's doing great things there. And check out some Scarlet downplaying while you're there as well. All right. But thanks for joining me on this, Jimmy. I hope everyone enjoyed the video. Remember to like and subscribe for more content. And you'll see us back with next month's 2v2.
Excellent.